All right, viewers, that was the inter-ministerial briefing by the Government of India, different departments coming together to give a clear picture on the LPG gas supply amid the West Asia conflict. A major statement coming up that no dry up has been reported from distributors. The briefing also mentioned how two ships, tankers Nanda Devi and Shivalik, have departed from the Persian Gulf towards India carrying 48,000 metric ton of LPG. In fact, let's now go across to Rajat Mishra, economist, here with me in the discussion here. Rajat, thanks very much for joining us. Many questions, of course, answered by the secretaries of the concerned ministries. But what do you think are areas that still need addressing?
Thank you so much. See, the one thing which I see is from the agriculture perspective, there is a double whammy there. And this is something where government needs to address this very quickly. Because first of all, okay, fine, LPG problem, the government has talked about it, that there is no such shortage. But because of average increase in daily demands from 55 lakhs to 88 lakhs, such situation is occurring. But the thing is 30 to 35% of natural gas which comes to India, around that is used for fertilizers. And because of that, urea, sulfur is also there, because I think around 70% of India's sulfur demands come from Hormuz. In that situation, if this sort of panic prevails, in agriculture sector, after 1 or 2 months, when Kharif season will occur and there is a chance of El Nino this time, in this situation, the demand for fertilizer is going to definitely increase. And if there is a panic or maybe black marketing, because of that, the prices will rise. It will be disastrous for Indian agriculture and especially for low-income farmers. Because another thing is a problem of exports. Because of, again, the closure of Gulf of Hormuz, Strait of Hormuz, we are not able to send our food produce. So export is also down. And in all of this situation, if both of these remain, the agriculture will suffer, farmers will have a major problem. So this is the most important thing which I see has not been talked about in this press conference. Rest, other thing, let's take the domestic or commercial aspects. Yes, they have talked about it, and there are some changes which are happening, which is a very, very positive sign.
All right. What affordable, adaptable energy and trade strategies do you think importing nations now need to adopt?
One thing is definitely diversification. As much as you can diversify, keeping the cost in control is definitely needed. But more than that, I'll say renewable energy, because now this should be a moment where again all of the countries, especially importing countries, should go for renewable energies, resources, be it solar energy, be it wind energy, be it other sort of energy sources, because that is again very, very much required. Other than that, one more thing, importing countries, or maybe in this case, India, should go for higher strategic reserves. We have good strategic reserves for oil, but if we compare it with China, this is very, very minimal. China, during this period where Russia-Ukraine war was happening, China utilized this to gain Russia's cheaper petrol and cheaper crude oil and filled its reserves. Similarly, they have good reserves for natural oil gases as well. So natural gas and LPG, for that, India does not have any strategic reserve. This is something which, other than renewable energy and diversification, the third thing will be strategic reserve, which government, especially India, should be taking care of.
All right, sure. Stay on with me, Rajat. I'm also joined in the conversation by Foreign Affairs expert Arvind Singh Tejawat here. Arvind, thanks very much for joining us. We just heard the press briefing by the Government of India on the LPG supply and the Shivalik and Nanda Devi tankers that have departed from the Strait of Hormuz from the Persian Gulf will be reaching India in a few hours. But talking particularly about the Strait of Hormuz and the proposed naval coalition that Trump has talked about, what do you think are the major concerns and problems with such a coalition?
Thank you very much for inviting me to give my opinion. But this is very much true. Even the people there in United States, they are raising a question on a Trump statement where Trump is saying that the Trump is having all the controls over the Iran and the Hormuz Strait will be set free very soon. If the situation is like that, then I suppose that Trump might not ask to the nations who are affected with the Hormuz Strait and call the people and their country head to clear that strait. So I don't think that we should rely on a Trump statement. Even the opposition of the United States is also raising a question on it. Contrary, I must say that the Indian government claiming that especially when the foreign minister S. Jaishankar spoken to his counterpart there in Iran, but I doubt that Iran has not given us a free pass like he has given a free pass to the China or the Russia and Pakistan. Then the India is need to struggle all the time, and in a statement of our foreign minister S. Jaishankar Sahib, he also stated that it's a conditional pass is given by the Iran. It means right at this moment, the Iran has given means permission for the 2 ships only, and we need to await for the many other ships which are means lying in a Red Sea area. So of course, we need to worry and we need to establish a dialogue with Iran and their foreign ministers, so our ships may freely come to the nations, and the shortage of LPG gas might be short out. So we need to think about it. At the same time, I must say that we need to think about our policy towards Iran and Israel. So we need to think about it. Only in that way, I suppose we can cope up with the problem.
All right.
Over to you.
Yeah, Mr. Tejawat, how long do you think this additional supply that's now coming in of 48,000 metric ton LPG will really last, and what provisions do we have thereafter? Because so far only 2 tankers have been allowed, and External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has made a statement to say that no blanket deal per se has been struck with Iran.
Right. Our foreign minister has also stated that there is no condition. It's not a conditional pass given by the Iran. But I suppose that Iran must pressurize India to go for a balance, the balance policy between the Iran and Israel, or maybe the United States. And of course, I suppose if the India will be agree to buy or purchase the gas from Iran, then probably the India might go for a better deal. Otherwise, we need to seek the permission all the time from the Iranian government, and especially the IRGC will not allow us to pass our ships. So it's a critical situation. Of course, there is no doubt in it. But I suppose since the Indian government is having the capacity, and what we earn from the past 7 or the 8 decades, we can really convince the Iranian government if we agree to buy LPG from Iran. At the moment, we are buying it from UAE and Saudi Arabia, especially, which are a good friend of United States. So, but the only issue that if we will start buying the gas from Iran, then of course it is going to support Iran financially, but there is a risk that maybe the US government might feel uncomfortable with the India. So now the India must look into his nation interest and need to take a straight decision, and India may enjoy the strategic freedom and might try to enjoy his freedom on a foreign policy. But it looks a bit difficult that the Indian government will take a very serious step like purchasing the LPG from Iran, right at this moment at least.
Right. Mr. Tejawat and Rajat Mishra, thanks very much for joining us in this conversation. We are slipping into a very quick break, viewers, but we come back with the latest news and updates.